This is Gengarex here, and now this is what if Deku had a wind quirk. Part 3. Okay, in the last video, when I was explaining on how All Might had an additional little speech, okay, he wouldn't have enough time to say all that. So basically, to make it better, just imagine like he said something like, for Midoriya to get better at his quirk and try to control it as soon as possible, because from here on out, things might get more tough. Man, that was much more better than me saying it before. Okay, now, when Midoriya walks into the room, when he gets to school, Ida and Bakugo still have their arguments about putting his feet down and having him not caring of what Ida says. Everybody inside the room looks at Deku and asks him a lot of questions at once. Like, what is your quirk? And how did you do that? You must be really strong. What kind of quirk do you even have? And with all of these questions coming at once, Aizawa comes in and tells them all that he is their UA teacher, and that for them to get dressed because there's gonna be a test for them, and whoever makes in last place will get expelled. Midoriya's still kind of like shocked at this, is kind of still worried, even though he's kind of like confident about himself a bit more. Okay, they all changed their clothes. They all go outside. Inside the point of where they start the running part, Midoriya's wind quirk is used throughout his body to make him move even faster, more agile. So he tries to put it all in his feet and then jump forward like a cannon. He kind of reaches a similar speed limit as Ida, so Ida kind of like sees this and then kind of respects him for seeing this. So they kind of get even more closer on becoming friends now. Bakugo, kind of shocked at this, starts to get a bit mad. And at the point of where they were going to the jumping part, Midoriya uses his wind quirk and jumps high. He tries not to do his one for all within this time, so he wouldn't like overdo it. Now, for the ball throw, Bakugo, who is really mad at how Deku suddenly had a quirk all of a sudden, and tries to give it everything he's got, not like in the original explosion that he gave off in the anime, but like almost as powerful, no, just as powerful at the time. Just basically, he just gave it his all. He put all of his power into that one throw. Boom! Nearly obliterating the ball. So the ball is kind of in half and still going. It's still making progress of the distance though. So that's happening, yeah. And now, Bakugo says, "Try to beat that, Deku." And then, once it's Midoriya's turn, he tries to do Midoriya tries to come up with an idea of using his one for all quirk within his finger, thinking with uh, with this kind of idea and putting it with his wind quirk, it might be enough to impress Aizawa a bit and Bakugo. So he does this, and the speed of the ball kind of goes almost as fast as when Deku jumped right straight through the robot during the entrance exam. And so once Aizawa sees this and everybody else sees this, like everybody's like pretty much amazed. You can almost see it going straight out of the planet. It doesn't. It just almost does. And so Bakugo gets really mad. He goes into a really big rage. Like he really starts to storm off and tries to saying Deku, and then charges right at him for beating his score. Aizawa stops him and erases his quirk, and tells him that if he does this again, he will get expelled. Bakugo understands and then doesn't bother with it anymore. Aizawa lets go of him, and Bakugo says to Deku, "How'd you get yourself quirk? And why didn't you ever tell me about it? Huh?" And then he just walks away. And then they get their scores, and everybody is just getting themselves embraced for their scores. Mineta got last place because he was technically the second to last in the anime. And now, since Midoriya has a wind quirk, and he kind of improved himself with speed and a bit more power with his chances of succeeding, Mineta got last place. For me, I'm not going to expel anyone because I like Mineta. He's a good guy, and his quirk is pretty unique. Maybe I'll do something with him, like inside the story. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep it normal. I mean, like, his quirk is pretty cool, if you think about it. Being able to capture villains like that would be pretty awesome. Okay, so remember, the only story that I actually ever have written down was what if Deku had a sludge form quirk. So yeah, I don't really have a script for this. I'm just doing this as I go along, but not completely, because I'm trying to like put the pictures in my head first before I officially like say something. Like I get ideas and then I let them flow through my mind, and I think, hey, what sounds really cool in this moment, while trying to keep the story a little bit the same. A little bit. Alright, so there. Alright, later.